Ah, yes. You know that sound, and you know what time it is. Welcome to the Zach Dresler Show. I am Zach Dresler. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, new subscribers. I don't know if I have any new subscribers. I think I have one or two. Welcome.
We
people
love you.
that have, we love you. Thank you for staying on. For people that are just tuning in for the first time, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, there's going to be all sorts of content on here. Please like and subscribe. We got some cool stuff coming on. Also, if you want to just check out the audio version of this beautiful show, you can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher. We're on all of them.
If you want a quick link, Linktree/TZDS. Quick link.
I didn't even know we had a link tree.
Oh, it's I need link to every single thing you want.
I need to do that for my Instagram bio, so this way I can do that with all my interviews and
Linktree it.
I'm so bad with that. I'm in social media. I'm so bad with like the extra shit that we got to do. Like the basics I'm good with, but the extra stuff I'm not.
We're all learning. What's up?
So, I'm just getting a funny text from Swasti. So anyway, real quick, the guest today. The lovely Swasti Shukla is on. She's a creator, a producer. She's a great friend of mine. TikTok star. Okay. She is a Halloween queen. And by that, I mean, she loves Halloween.
Love it.
But she dresses up. She goes the full 10 yards when it's Halloween and cosplay in general. She really knows how to do it up.
Is that a saying?
Cosplay?
Go the full 10 yards?
Well, you go the full 9. But I'm going the full 10 and giving her the first down.
Well.
That's the reference. So like I'm not giving football references. The full 9 yards with an
Didn't
extra
mean to
one.
derail you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But she's joining the show. We're gonna have a great conversation. One of my faves. She works at BuzzFeed, but she's got her own YouTube channel coming out. Go check it out. Swasti Shukla.
Right here.
We'll be having her in a couple minutes here, but. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Good. It's another day, another mass shooting. Yeah.
Yes. Last week between records, there was a terrible mass shooting in Atlanta. The death of 8 people, 6 Asian women.
Yep.
By another fucking racist,
just evil
hooligan,
person.
evil motherfucker. I don't even know his name. I don't want to know his name. I saw his picture, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. I only had one word for him. Pathetic fucker. That's 2. Sorry.
Fire him off.
And yesterday.
Boulder.
Yeah. And that's his 7th mass shooting in 7 days. And I want to make a joke. And say, hey, we know America's back open. The pandemic's over. LA traffic is back. Mass shootings are happening on a daily basis. But fuck that. That's terrible. Yeah. And it is terrible. And the shootings themselves are horrible. The racist hate is deplorable.
Yeah.
Like, the hate that Asian people are receiving in the U.S. worldwide is despicable. Have some fucking intelligence. Have some manners. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If you want to be a racist asshole, fine. Shut the fuck up and keep it to yourself. These people, Jesus. People have done nothing to you. Whether they're black, brown, Asian, Jewish.
It's perceived hate. It's
and we know what it's
brewing.
from. It's from this past administration, the past president Trump. It is calling it the China virus, the Kung flu.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that was keeping mass shootings again from happening was the pandemic, or maybe there wasn't. We just didn't know it because so many people were dying from incompetency of the pandemic.
Yeah, and also like how okay it is to brush shit off now, like bad shit. Where it's like somehow the past 4 years with Trump, it seems like it's okay to be irrational. You know, it's like it's you can't even rationalize with anybody anymore.
Well, what? Let me hold on. Yeah,
so
because
insane.
the police chief from Atlanta last week, the sheriff in Georgia said, quote, he was fed up at the end of his rope. Yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did. Yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did. Fuck you.
Wow.
You serious? Bad day. Dude, I've had bad days. You've had bad days. Okay, everyone in the world has had a bad day. People are having bad moments right this moment. That doesn't give you a right to go, which, by the way, he bought a gun, or maybe that was the guy in Colorado. It's too many mass shootings. But the thing is, the access to these guns is easier than getting access to a COVID vaccine. Which, by the way, I got today. Not to change up the subject, but it took me fucking hard. It was hard to fucking get it.
Yeah.
And I could have probably gotten 3 guns and a shit ton of ammo in the month that I've been trying to find a COVID vaccine.
Well, I think it's just being rational. Like how many tests do you need to take to get a license to drive a car? A lot.
But like,
I failed my first 2 tests. Just to drive a car, you don't need to do any of that to own a gun.
It's
interesting, and I don't think that has anything to do with it being a right.
No, it's not.
It's
and I'm
just
not against
being
guns.
a responsible gun
I'm
owner.
not against guns.
No,
I'm not against
responsible gun
guns.
owner. I think a gun in the hands of a responsible gun owner is safe.
Sure.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: is I'm not against guns. I'm against certain types of guns because again, and I agree with you. Guns in responsible hands is safe.
Yeah.
Sure, but unfortunately, we have not proven that. And I'm not saying that everyone, we need to do better with the laws, 1,000%, but we also need to ban a lot of these, ARs. And I know that ARs is semi-automatic. It's not an automatic or whatever, so it's not really the AR-15 that's been popularly used. Both of them need to both be banned, semis and autos. And you need to go through special license and training and testing to get those guns.
Yeah.
Handguns, listen, if you want to argue with me, a gun's a gun and it all should be banned, sure. But protection's still protection.
Right.
And,
something needs to happen, man. I mean, like we to have the population we have now and to have the type of weapons that are even available to purchase now when this amendment was added to the Constitution, it was 1700s.
Yeah,
like,
people take the
they
Second
didn't know there was
Amendment.
going to
People
be a
take
Gatling gun.
Well, the thing is, and that's exactly my point. People are taking this Constitution. Yes, while it's a document that was, people quote, it's an imperfect document, and it was a document that was written for the time at hand. If you read the whole Second Amendment, all right, in there it says, yes, the right to bear arms, to take up arms in a militia, because guess what? There was no official U.S. Army at this point, so civilians were the Army. You were the Minutemen. You were the Army. And back then, a right to bear arms, the gun was a gun where you had to put the goddamn bullet in the fucking the chamber, load it with gunpowder, poke it in, let it go, and then rip. That took all about 30 to 40 seconds.
Yeah. And shall not be infringed is the key thing here. Like if you define infringe, actively break the terms of. You're not actively breaking the terms of a law if you just require somebody to take a test and a background check and prove that they can use the weapon safely. I don't think that's taking away anything or breaking the terms of whatever the amendment said.
No, but it's freedom.
It's
the biggest flaw in America.
That's rational. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, but all rational gets thrown away because of the word freedom. Because Americans have popularized this word freedom and what it means. Right. I don't need to wear a mask. I'm a free man. Right. You can't do this to me. I can have a gun. It's freedom. It's my American right. Freedom, 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 freedom.
Yeah. I know Tim Dillon just tweeted today, get vaccinated so you can die in a mass shooting.
Yeah.
And
what's crazy is that, like, when all this happens, Ted Cruz today says every time a school shooting happens, if your fucking argument starts with every time a school shooting happens and then followed with like the Democrats demand gun control, what fucking argument are you trying to make? Like, that is the worst argument. Those two words should not, or mass shooting, whatever it was, mass shooting or school shooting, both those should not be like the precursor for defending anything.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And just again, like you said, like these rights, the freedoms that people think that they have because of it, you know, it's killing people.
Right.
And unhealthy people, mentally disturbed. Put the money into social services where we you know, I mean,
and that's where it all comes from, fear-based tactics.
Propaganda and
because
tactics.
if you think your guns are going to be taken away, which is the typical thing that gets pushed whenever, you know, these things happen, right? It's like, I understand the other side of the argument. Yeah, you need guns so that the government can't take you.
And can I tell people, the people that sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
The people that are saying, you know, I got to protect myself from the government. Like, guess what, guys? They don't give a fuck about you.
No, but
they ain't coming for you.
No,
they don't give a fuck about you.
No,
okay.
That's the other side of the argument. I understand that is something that they see as something as that is vital, right? If you take your guns away, then the government can do anything they want to me. Anybody can do anything they want to me.
100%.
I totally understand that.
But we don't live in Nazi Germany.
Right. Right.
We don't live in the Soviet Union.
Right.
You know, we don't live.
Yeah. It's all fear-based.
It's all fear-based, and it breaks my heart because as I've gotten older, like it makes me value these lives, and not that I didn't value them before, but it makes you think because I am now the average person going to a theater, a grocery store. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I have my best friends from home. They have not gone to a movie theater since 2011, since the Aurora, Colorado, the Batman.
Really?
Yeah. Because they don't.
Fear of being a crowd.
Fear of being a crowd.
I mean, it's definitely
and what
crossed
is it,
my mind.
And what is it with Colorado?
I don't know, man.
Do you notice that?
I didn't think it was such a
like Texas. Okay, yeah, it's a big state, and there's it's Texas.
I don't know.
Florida, sure. Georgia, what the fuck? But Colorado.
So I'm saying Texas, responsible gun ownership.
Well, I mean, they still have. What, are you kidding me?
No, you don't.
No, I know. I know you're joking. I know you're joking. I know. It's just like,
right? Because like I've been with very right of the spectrum people and shot guns with them.
Yeah, me too.
There is nothing more important than safety to them.
100%.
And I didn't realize that somebody could take safety so seriously. And I was like, oh, this is like, people do take this seriously. But then you have people who do mass shootings.
Right. And it's crazy. I when I'm in a controlled environment with people that I trust, with people that I know, I'm fine firing guns.
Yeah.
We're all following the safety protocols.
Yeah.
But when I went to a range in 2016, going 2017, it was somewhere out here. I had a little fear because people were bringing their own guns, they're renting guns, all this stuff. But it was just people just loading them. And it's like, I didn't know these people around me. And there's some dude that's firing off an AK-47 next to me.
Yeah.
This guy's literally, he's firing it. He's firing like this. And he's going, boom.
Right.
Because he can't even hold it correctly. And I'm like, what's it going to take for him to go, boom,
right,
and just shoot this way to the right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, it is scary because, like, you're like, yeah, when you're shooting guns, you're definitely, like, even the safe gun owner feels that anxiety because, I would assume, because people could die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a really interesting line to tread, but maybe a topic for another podcast.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: we're not going to finish this topic because it's going to happen again. As much as I'd love to say, "Hey, it's fixed," it's not. It's going to happen again. I hope it doesn't happen to you. I hope it doesn't happen to us. I hope something is done. I'm hoping this administration can lock down. I mean, it's going to be hard because the NRA rules the roost. As much as no one wants to hear that, as much as people think that NRA, NRA pays, and it's lobbying people, and as long as they're in politicians' pockets, it's going to be around.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I was talking to I forgot who, but they were talking about the NRA and that there was a situation where if you're, I don't know if it's in just this one state or or this one area, but if, like, say you get your gun taken away by the police or whatever, and you haven't been tried or convicted of any crime, the NRA will give you an equivalent gun until you get your gun back. And then once you get your gun back, you have to give the gun that they loaned you.
Crazy.
Isn't that insane?
That's nuts, man. That's just what the.
Yeah, I was like, they do that? What the? Anyway, I didn't.
Well, before we get Swasti on, I do want to end on lighter news, if possible. Some good news for me. I got vaccinated today.
Woo!
We have applause, or we get the fire. That's why the hose, or the siren, or the hose. Yes, it could be scary. It could be scary. It could be scary. That who knows? I've in the past 12 hours. I feel groggy right now. I feel like someone punched me in the arm.
No punches here. I don't have punches.
There's crickets. No one cares. Okay, great. No one has fucking sympathy for me.
I thought it was a punch.
But man, I posted. I made fun of myself last week. I made fun of people last week who were getting the vaccine and posting about it. Like, yeah, I did this. And you can check out my Instagram. It's basically the Ron Burgundy scene where he's like, I have a very important message. And I dubbed myself going, I got vaccinated, because I feel like that's what everyone's posting, like these, and I'm not hating on them, but these, what it means to be vaccinated. And I appreciate that, because everyone's gone through a fucking year with this goddamn fucking virus. And so post away. I'm just taking the little piss out of everybody because I can, because it's what I do. I'm a hypocrite because today I posted.
Yeah.
Myself getting vaccinated on my Instagram.
But yours is different.
Why? Because it's me?
Yeah, because it's you.
Yeah, but because I make fun of myself. Because I make fun of myself too in my stories.
All right, I saw the frog face. Yeah.
I make fun of myself. I post, this is me last week, this is me this week. And even my caption's a little jokey. But it did mean a lot. It did mean a lot to get vaccinated. I haven't seen my folks in a year. And yeah, people are going to be like, well, you could have fucking gone through your folks. Like, listen, I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to risk my father's health. That was paramount to me. Yeah. Paramount to me.
Paramount.
But I'm getting crushed, dude, on this photo. I make fun of myself. People are like, yeah, great. Now get your haircut. Nice hair.
Let the haters
What
hate,
up,
man.
Kramer?
Let the haters hate, man.
Like, but here's the thing, is that, this is just like, what I notice is that, like, people do crazy shit with their hair all the time. And this is the difference between guys and girls, or girls that are dressed with guys, but guys that, but for me, it's different. I feel like the rules don't apply. When a girl posts something, they got a haircut,
queen,
nails done, in front of a rose wall, in front of a pink wall, dressed to nines. And I like them all because I love the posts and I think they're fantastic. Everyone looks great. But man, the comments are, yes, queen. This gives me life.
living
for this, and I love it. And it's not because I'm jealous. It's not because I just love it. I love the hype people love around it. But for me, no, not for me. Not for Zachy Poo.
No,
Zach gets yo, get a haircut, douchebag. Or you cut the line in front of my nana. I'm getting crushed. I'm getting ripped.
That's a good one.
I'm getting torn to shit. And they're all jokes. Everyone that's commenting is jokes, and I appreciate your comments, and I love you all, and it makes me laugh. It's so funny. It's something I noticed in the way here, and I was like, damn. And it,
isn't that the male version of the yas, the queen, yas, fire lit? Right? It's like, you asshole.
Sure.
We get it.
Sure.
That's loving.
It's love. And it's love. And I appreciate all the love.
Typical men
listen, it's just the way all my friends, listen, one of my best friends, Pete Zaka, The way I
Shout
used
out
to tell
Pete Saka.
people, if he likes you, he's making fun of you. He's, you're in the, and that's how, I remember when I met Pete before we went to high school, but through travel soccer. And, Pete would always be like, he's like, if your hand's bigger than your head, you're not that smart. And like, I would be like, what do you mean? And he would smack my
you
hand.
right in the head. Yeah.
And because I also play goalie, he'd be like, dude, do you smell? This is within 5 minutes of each other. I fell for this twice, by the way. And he's like, you smell that? And I was like, what? He's like, I think your hands smell from your goalie gloves. I'm like, really? What? And it just hit me again. But we're best friends. And then that's, you're right. It's people interact differently with people, whether male, female, or depending on your age.
Right. And really good friends take advantage of other friends' idiocy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Or bad hairstyles. So, having said that, we ended on a high note before we bring Swasti, but I'm excited to get Swasti on. So let's dial her up and have a nice conversation with the lady. There you are.
There we are.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much. How have you been? It's been so busy.
It's been over a year, at least since I think I've seen anybody. But I feel like I haven't seen you since probably 2019 when I saw you when I was freelancing back at BuzzFeed.
Yeah, that was probably the last time we saw each other, huh?
Yeah.
Which is like weird to think about.
Well, because it's been a year, but it doesn't feel like it's been a year, but it's been a year.
Yeah. It's been slightly over a year since we've all been confined to our homes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm slowly. I don't know how you're handling it, and we're just by the way, we're just going right into this just to let you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know how you've been handling like the rebirthing of yourself to the world. I want to call it, I guess. But I've been going to I've been seeing people socially distance. I'm with Indy right now, but he's in the other room. So like
Nice.
we're there's people that we're
Hey,
around, and like, are you going back to the gym? Like, what's going on? Like, what do you do? Are you seeing people?
Well, okay. I'm seeing people in like my family and my coworkers, right? Because like at BuzzFeed, they've started testing us for COVID just in case. Like I was actually drove in today to get my COVID test to make sure it was like good to shoot on Friday. So they've been doing that, which like I really appreciate because it's like this added layer of safety. Granted, like within the next day you could still get it, but the hope is you don't. So, but like I definitely appreciate that because before they weren't doing that, and then I guess they decided to start kicking it up when things started spreading again. Who have I been seeing? I've seen my family. I've seen my coworkers here and there.
That was BuzzFeed. Like, are you like, is it only when you have to go shoot? You don't have to like be back in the office. Everything else. Home.
It's only and here's the thing, like you don't have to go back to the office to shoot if you don't want to, but I preferred it because if you shoot from home, you don't necessarily get the same support, right? Because you don't want to invite people into your home.
Right.
But over there, you still get a DP, you still get like art support, you still can cast someone to be hands if you want, which I need to because I have these long nails. So I'm not cutting them off. But I've been going to get my nails done. That feels great.
Yeah. So how long has that been? How long has it been before you got your nails done? Was it a year?
No, it was less than a year. It was probably like 6 months ago I started going back because they like reopened again. And they were the girl I go to, she's like, she would only allow 2 people in there at a time and you were on complete opposite sides. So it was like whenever you were allowed to go back or whenever they allowed them to open up again, if that was, I don't even remember if that was 6 months ago, but I was doing them at home and that was hard.
Yeah.
It's like still.
My girlfriend cuts my hair, and now that it's like my brother got his haircut done professionally or like, by someone. And I'm like, do I want to get that done? I feel like my hair's so simple. Why am I? And my girlfriend doesn't want to do it. She's like, just go get paid to get it done. I'm like, but I can save money. She's like, just go get it done. Just please go get it done. I don't want to do it for you anymore.
Get out and get it done because they're allowed to do it now. And, you're supporting your local businesses in that way because they really took a beating. It was sad.
Yeah, they took a huge, the whole country and all the businesses took a huge beating except for Target, except for Amazon, except for all the big ones. Yes. But have you gone back to the gym at all?
So when I was in New York, I did. It was limited capacity.
Oh, that's right. So you were before. Let's rewind that.
Let's rewind.
You were in New York for a bit for part of this, huh?
Yes, I was. I went to visit Ten's family there in Long Island, and they're like super secluded. Obviously, got tested before going. Quarantined when we got there, but I was there for a while. So I went to the gym post our quarantine or like post getting tested.
Because New York was allowing people to go back to gyms, right?
They were
So wait, you were
allowing
there for
people
what?
to
From
go
the
back.
summer till when?
It wasn't like, it was just like a month in October,
Okay,
basically.
okay. Oh,
And
your
then
favorite
again in
month.
December. But like it was dope. Yeah. My favorite month. Spent Halloween there. It was like such a vibe. It was very cool. You could still see they didn't ban it there. So kids were like trick-or-treating, not as much as usual.
Yeah, of course.
But they were, and we drove around and looked at decorations, and it was like it was nice to see that people were still in spirit, although I myself did not actually get out of the car. I stayed in the vehicle just to look at decorations as we drove by.
Yeah, it wasn't the same this year. I don't think I dressed up at all, and I love Halloween. But we'll get to that in a second because I do want to talk about that because I know.
Back to the gym.
Yeah,
back to the gym.
Let's back to the gym. So like you went back what, a month ago?
I went back. Yeah. Wow. It was December, like December, January, December. December is when I went. October, I'm trying to remember. I think it was open then too. So I went both those times, and it was like limited capacity. There were like probably 5 people in there. And it was not, I mean, you kept your mask on.
Yeah.
I didn't even take it off to take like a sip of water, and I like double masked, but it was so nice to just like be there again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, because doing it at home, like, I mean, I bought power blocks, you know, those like kind of like bootleg dumbbell things. They work, and we have a bench and resistance bands, but like you get tired of working out in the same space over and over. Like having the place to go to, it makes a difference. And then I don't have a cardio machine here, and I'm not going to run on the sidewalk because I'm going to fall down.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. And that's why, I want to talk to you. What was your routine when you were there, like during like the lockdown during COVID? Because for me, I hit 2020, like, I was really rearing up, and then COVID hit, and the gym closed, and I love going to the gym that I love going to, and I have a routine, and I just stopped. I did resistance bands, but I just stopped working out. I put on weight. I just put like, I feel like it was funny. Like I say 2020 was like, I put on weight, I lost weight, I put on weight, and then I'm back to losing weight because it was just so up and down with what we had restrictions out here in LA, because one moment gyms were open for like a hot second during the summer, and then they closed them back down again, and then they reopened them and then they closed them back down again. So it was like inconsistency. But like my workout routine, the home workout routine, just I couldn't, like you said, I couldn't get into it. I think I had a hard time deciphering from like work, relaxing at home and doing like a workout from home. And running for me, I can't with these old knees on the concrete. Forget about it. It's like snipers hitting my Achilles from like a mile away. It's bad.
No, absolutely. I agree with you there. And I mean, no one should be doing that. I didn't realize the effect that running on like concrete has on your knees till later.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Not good. But I feel you. I mean, I feel like it affected everyone in a way where like people just like, you just like lost motivation to like do anything. And that's like only natural, right? And like, we're still on the privileged tier of what happened during this time.
100%.
Which is like, that's really something to think about. So like, and the psychological effects of that's like a whole nother thing. So like dealing with all those feelings, like 100%, there were weeks where I would just sit on the couch and like vegetate. And I too would like sporadically like, okay, I'm going to work out now. Okay, I'm not going to work out this week. Or I'll like do like, I don't know, I'll work out like for a day. But like eventually, like my building's gym opened up, and I can't work out up here in the apartment anymore. Like I have to go down there because like I just can't, my mind is no longer in this apartment. For that. Like I need to go back. It's just like last resort at this point. Cause like it's the worst. I hate it. It's no fun.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't find like a favorite, like it's just a favorite exercise to do. Like I did resistance bands for like probably 2 weeks where I was really into it. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling this burn. I'm feeling this burn. And it's like, I'm feeling the burn because I wasn't doing anything else. I would try to do like, challenges where it's like, let me do a weeks of legs, doing different squats, not like a full squat routine in one day, but just trying to break it up, and I just couldn't get into it. And, I'm glad the gyms are open. Have you done like a HIIT routine yet? I think we talked about this on the phone. How is that? Cause I haven't touched like a full, I've just been doing body parts. I haven't done a full body workout.
So, okay. My HIIT routine was purely cardio. I didn't do a workout HIIT routine. I don't usually do those things like plyo and stuff. Like I don't have the ability to do it. I like can't do it without, because when I get to jumping around, like I'm a complete klutz. So I will absolutely sprain an ankle. I don't go there, but I did do sprints on a treadmill and it was so nice. And I know that's not necessarily good for your knees either, but I have those like 5-finger shoes or whatever. And
whoa, what are the 5-finger shoes? Are those the shoes that actually put your, like the ones that have like, it looks like a sleeve?
Yeah, the little toe shoes. You know what I'm talking about? Those Vibram toe shoes.
But those are better for you than like a regular running shoe?
Okay, I don't know that they're better for you, but for some reason, I feel better when I run in them. If that makes any, for some reason, they position my leg in such a way that I don't feel like I'm like slamming down onto the concrete or onto the treadmill anymore, which is like, it's less padding. So like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to feel the effects of that in another like 5 years on my knees. But like, it was just nice. In that moment, I was just like, I am going to do sprints today.
I'm looking at the screen. I have them on the screen right now. Indy pulled them up.
Oh, yeah?
Because I've seen people wear these. I've seen people wear them when they go swimming or hiking, you know, or the combination of the two when they're going in between water and everything and on land. But I've never seen anybody actually wear them to run, to speed run or do any of that type of stuff. Because I just imagine the constant hitting of the pavement or the whatever. It's not, you know.
I wouldn't do it outside. Absolutely wouldn't recommend using those outside. Absolutely not. Like to run, no, because there's like no padding on them. It's like, it's literally like you're barefoot running, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and it's probably actually not good for the cartilage in my knee, but it feels good.
We have to put a disclaimer up now above us. Swasti is not a doctor.
She's not. She's nothing close to a doctor. If I was a doctor, my parents would be a lot happier, but I'm not.
Yeah, my parents too. My parents, I feel like I let I don't feel like I feel like I let my parents down. Not being a doctor. My dad gets so mad at me because he's an architect and a contractor. So he's really good with math. He's really good with numbers. He thinks he's a doctor. I think most Jewish people think they're doctors for whatever reason. You know, I don't know how you feel about your culture, but in the Jewish culture, it's like, I feel like it's very, you're a doctor, an accountant, or you're in entertainment. And I'm just in entertainment, and I don't cross over to the other boundaries at all. And I feel like my father's really disappointed that I don't have at least one of those other two. Like, he tried so hard. I remember it was like 4 or 5 years after I graduated college. He's like, you know, you could always do entertainment law. And I was like, oh, you just want me fit into a trope of one of these, you know, things. I can't just be the creative guy. I have to be the creative lawyer guy as a fallback plan.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The amount of times I've heard about the fallback, and it's the same for me. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, businessman. Not businessman. These are your options.
I see. My parents didn't go engineer because my father was like, "You're too dumb to be an engineer. You can't handle math and those type of things." You know, but it was doctor, lawyer, or you know, he knew with math again. I was never going to be an accountant.
Yeah, yeah. Those are the stable careers, and that's just what they want, I guess. And like, yeah, same. Definitely a disappointment. We can bask in that together. I've definitely heard about that. I mean, recently I was just having a conversation with my dad, and he was like, you know, I used to be so smart and so good at math. And I was like, that's the biggest lie. I was not good at math. Like, I was good at algebra because it was like easy, but not anything else, you know? And he was like, you could have done so much. You should have been an engineer. I would have failed at life had I been an engineer. Yeah. I don't know, like, how he doesn't see that.
My dad, do you have any siblings?
I do, a younger sister.
Okay. See, I think my father confuses all of us now because my father's like, you were so great at this. I'm like, I think you're talking about Emmett. I don't think you're talking about me. You know, Emmett was the one that was potentially going to go to UCLA and be a doctor. Not me. There was no chance. He's like, yeah, but you're also so good. I'm like, that was Seth. That was not. I'm like, now I'm concerned about my father's health. But
he can use his doctor skills to like figure that out, I guess.
I'll tell this quick story about my father because it's sad and just my father in a nutshell. So when my father, senior in high school, no, senior college, my father had, he would always complain about his back, but if he threw out his back or he hurt his back, he'd always say, I have a cold in my back. I don't need to go to the doctor. And I would say, how does someone get a cold specifically in their back. Like I get like, you get the flu, you have back pains, you have all these things, And he's like, so my senior year of college, he had 2 ruptured discs in his upper back.
Gosh.
And I went home for spring break and I saw him and he's, not doing well. And I'm like, will you please go to the doctor? He's like, it's just a cold. I just need to wrap myself in some warm blankets, drink some soup, and I'll be fine. And I'm like, what doctor is this? He's like, it's me. Listen, I know my body better than anyone else. And I go, Dad, listen, just please be careful. And sure enough, the day after I got back from spring break in college, he shattered the disc in his lower back from having 2 ruptured discs.
What?
And I was like, wow, that was some fucking severe cold you had. Like, as horrible as that sounds, like I feel bad for my dad, but at the same time, he did it to himself. And it's just like, and I wonder if he blames that on me now. Like, now that I think about that, like, I wonder if he blames, like, you could have been the son that fixed me. This could have been a story. Like, I feel like that's a parent's dream, Anyway, I went on a tangent.
No, I love that tangent though. That's definitely like how my grandma and mom, or my dad is like a complete, like, go to the doctor for anything. My mom likes to kind of sort of avoid the doctor, but then also likes to go to the doctor. So like, she's kind of here and there. My grandma, my mom's mom, self-medication all the way, like herbal, Ayurveda. She'll tell us what to do. Like when COVID happened, she was telling us about this plant. It's like called Giloy. And I don't remember what that is in English, but it apparently boosts your immune system. And she bought like all of us these little Giloy tablets and was like, you need to take 2 of these every day. And then the Indian store, I guess they found out about, like, I guess everyone's grandparents is super into Ayurveda.
Grandparents got the hot tip on this stuff.
Yeah. So they bought out the Giloy tablets and then we had to drink Giloy juice because she wouldn't let us go without like having this cure or whatever for like at least a week. And it was the nastiest, most bitter thing I've ever had. Like it was choking it down for sure.
So wait, I'm looking at so it's an ancient herb that's packed with an array of benefits, popular for its immunity and boosting properties. Giloy helps in actively fighting against various pathogens.
Mm-hmm. So so
grandma knew what's up.
Yeah, I'm still taking it. I mean, I haven't gotten COVID, but I'm not going to attribute it to it because once again, I'm not a doctor, but I've been taking it.
So you just take 2 of these it's like vitamins. You take them in the morning and that's it. Interesting.
Exactly. I take them after eating just because I take every tablet after eating.
Okay. Yeah. As you should. I think that's the proper way to do it. Every type of medicine you should take after eating. Never take medicine, vitamins, or anything on an empty stomach. My girlfriend and I did elderberry flower.
Oh.
So she got like tabs, like chewable tabs, and then we also had elderberry juice.
Okay, how did that taste?
It tasted good. The juice tasted like, because it was concentrated, it tasted like a little bit of cough syrupy.
Okay.
But the tablet was fine. It was like taking one of those, like it was like a Flintstone tab.
Okay, those are fun.
It was good. So I never got COVID, so I hope that worked. Today, I got the shot.
You got the shot. Which one did you get?
I got Moderna.
How? Okay. You seem like you're feeling good today.
I feels like it's funny. I was telling Indy this. I don't know. They must have hit a nerve because I don't like needles, but I don't flinch. I just sit there and I look away and it's like, they're like, okay, we're going to go in. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm used to it. They must have hit something because my arm like spasmed. Like my arm involuntarily spasmed. She goes, ooh, I must have hit something. And I go, yeah. And she goes, okay, and we're done. Like she was just like, you probably hit something. Yeah, this is normal. And so she did it, and that was it. But it felt like, and my girlfriend said she felt this too. It still feels that way. Like someone punched you with their knuckle, not the flat part, but the knuckle part, right in your arm, like dead armed you straight up. And that's how it feels in my arm right now. I can move it. I was able to lift. I can do bench. I was doing all that today. But it does feel weird. And I went to Kava. You ever been to Kava before?
I have. I love Kava. There's one like up the street.
It's my favorite place. And so we were by USC when we got it done. So there's a Kava right there. And so I got it, and I got harissa and sug, like the spicy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I sweat when I eat, but I don't know if it was the Moderna or the harissa. But my girlfriend looked at me, and you know that meme that was, I forget what his name is. He's just sweating profusely. I think it's Keenan.
Oh, yes.
It's just he's sweating profusely. That was me. I was sweating from the back of my head. I was sweating everywhere. And she's like, "Is that the Moderna shot?" And I go, "I think it's the harissa." And she's like, "No, that's Moderna. Like that is Moderna for sure." And
it's a little mix.
It's a little mix.
Cocktailed a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, Jordan Peele sweating. Like that's exactly what I looked like, just dripping. It was bad.
Jordan Peele sweating. Wait, I don't think I've seen this. See, I can imagine Keenan sweating.
Yeah, dude, Jordan Peele sweating. It's a GIF or a meme. It's a meme or a GIF.
Okay. I know I shouldn't be looking at this. But
no,
like,
it's
now
fine. Listen, we do what we want here. So that was me. So that was me today for at least a good solid 30 minutes. And I felt chills after. And now I just feel groggy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel right now. And I'll probably want to pass out when I get home. I just probably feel tired. It's your body's building, antibodies for it.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it's like the second one I've heard, especially it'll like just take you out. Like
Well,
you're gonna have to take some days off.
Yeah. Well, I heard. So I heard it depends. I heard if you had COVID and you didn't know you had COVID,
mm-hmm.
then the shot will knock you out.
Oh,
that's what I've heard. Nice. So or if you had, even if you know you've had COVID and you recover from COVID, the shot will do some, I'm not gonna say damage because I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm not gonna get the shot. I'm not getting the shot. Zach said damage. No, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be good. But this, I'm waiting online with some people, and there's a couple behind us, and they're like, all right, well, listen, we're only here for the Pfizer and the Moderna. If they only have the Johnson & Johnson, we're out. And I'm like, what? Who? You're here. You're in line.
Yeah.
But just like it took me. I had an appointment on Monday.
Okay.
The site that I was supposed to go to closed down.
Oh.
So me and my girlfriend they ran out of vaccines.
Okay.
They were like, sorry, we're out of vaccines.
Shady business at some of the sites. So
I think the sites. Here's the thing: is that like I fall under the category because I have for my diabetes.
Of course.
So I was able to go through on this round, but it's not like they're checking. Like there's no. It's like once you're registered, you're in. They're not going to ask you, oh, what's your job? What's your occupation? They don't ask you any of that. Like, you could be the healthiest person in the world and put, you're a healthcare, you're an essential worker and go right through.
Interesting.
And I don't, like, it's funny. Like I was talking about my girlfriend because we were waiting in line. I don't necessarily have an issue with that because at these vaccine sites, the one that I went to, there is a standby line because people know, depending on where you go, there's anywhere from 20 to like 100 left over of these shots.
Yeah, and then they throw them out.
Yeah. So it's like, well, they're either going to go to waste or I can get stuck.
Exactly.
So I think people are starting to realize that, which I think is it's good. But yeah, I feel better. I'm halfway there. They did schedule my second appointment, which was weird. When they did the intake, the guy that was doing the intake on my girlfriend was like, hey, do you want me to schedule your appointment or do you want to do it yourself? Some people prefer to do it themselves. And my girlfriend's like, no, of course, schedule it. And then like I get intake by some woman and, we're having good banter. I was like, so do I schedule my own appointment or do you schedule? She's like, you're a grown man. You can schedule your own appointment.
Oh, she's like, Zach, you're on your own.
And I was just like, really? I thought she was joking. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And so like I walk away and I go to meet my girlfriend in the other tent, like waiting to get like vaccinated. She goes, when's your second appointment? I go, I didn't get one.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what. So now I have to frantically search. Mine's like I have to be on the 19th or like 2 days before or after.
Right.
So
what site did you go to / what website did you?
I went to what is it? Hold on, I have it on my phone.
You said by USC. So
yeah, Kettering.
Okay.
Kettering place, the Kettering Hospital. So that's where it directed me when I went to on let's pulling it myturn.ca.gov.
Okay, cool.
So that's what I did that one.
Nice.
But let's switch over to some content because I want to talk about your channel. By the way,
oh, for sure, my baby channel.
Listen, this is a baby channel. We all got baby channels. Well, we all got baby channels. By the way, I want to get your last name right. I've known you for so many years. I'm always afraid to ask. It's Swasti Shukla.
Shukla, yeah. It's just like it's spelled.
Swasti Shukla.
Yep.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
No, you got it.
Well, Swasti Shukla is joining the show. I didn't intro you properly, so I have to put it in here at some point.
You have to do it now.
Well, we're going to talk about your channel now. So you go check out her channel, YouTube channel. The baby, get it on it while it's hot on the ground floor.
Right.
But I do like the chai talks on Friday. I think that's smart. I think that's funny. I like, you and Tens, first of all, it's your fiance, your husband, so like it's going to be, and he's got his own personality. And if you if you don't know Tens, go check out his music. He's a dope artist, dope rapper, just a great guy, and a Giants fan. So we vibe on that.
Yeah, you do.
But what do you want to do with the channel? Like I'm curious. Like I'm excited to see what you want to do with your channel, because I know you're a great content creator, and I'm excited to see you do your own stuff for you and not a company that's telling you what to do.
Right. There's so many ideas I have for it, but it's like you only have so many hours in a day. So figuring that out is what's been kind of hard, because I want it back before I got my job at BuzzFeed. The way I got it was by creating videos that were like healthy versions of my favorite junk food. And I had a blog, and I would take pictures and write the recipe. And then Ten told me about this thing called Tasty that just cropped up and had these cool top-down videos. And he was like, you should jack the format. I'll teach you how to shoot and edit and make a website. And I was like, oh no, I don't have a fancy camera. Like, no,
doesn't matter.
And he was like, you just use your iPhone and I'll teach you how to edit. So he taught me how to edit. I shot my videos, and then I created a website. And then he told me to apply for a job, and I begrudgingly did that. I didn't think I would get one. And then I got a job. So that was cool. But I want to basically start, I want to bring those recipes back to my channel, because I feel like a lot of people like that, and a lot of people have been asking me about that. So I'm going to bring those back. And then I also want to start putting out fitness content, because that's a thing I'm interested in. And I want to start trying new things. I want to do there's this Ayurvedic diet based on, I believe, your blood type, or I'm saying this wrong and I'm going to get skewered for it. I'm trying to remember what it is, but there's different types that you can be. And I forgot exactly what they are.
Different types of blood types that work better for a person's diet.
Right. There's a blood type diet, and then that one's different, but then there's an Ayurveda one. And that's I'm trying to remember what it's based on and rooted in. Obviously I haven't even done my research yet. I just wrote it down, and I was like, oh, the Ayurvedic diet, because there's different categories of type that you might be, and your diet is based on that. And I do not have all the details, because Zach, I have not done the research, but I know it exists and I wrote it down. And it basically tells you I just want to try these things. Granted, I'll always stick to tracking macros, which is a thing I finally hopped back on.
Yeah, I remember we were doing a video like that for a minute.
I know, that never came out.
And then it never came out. Whatever. We had the app. I don't even remember what the app is. Should we not mention what the app is in case they come out? Avatar. It was the Avatar app where you can count your macros and everything. And it was cool. It worked. It was a test thing that we were doing, I remember.
Yeah.
And so it was still in beta. So there were certain things that did not work. And I felt like I was using my Fitness Pal, but more than I was using the app.
The app is back, for real. And it is actually really good.
Did they give you, are you using it?
I'm still using it. Yeah. I transferred fully from my Fitness Pal because it's that good. So basically,
really,
you can track
are you in contact with them? Did they give you all that stuff?
They basically, I'm still in contact with them. I still have my account. They're great people, and they still have given me my free account. So I still have it.
I should check if my works still.
It probably does.
I think I deleted the app though.
Well, just re-download it, reset your password.
Yeah.
Because what's really cool is you get your macros for the week, right? And if you eat more than you should on a specific day, you can have the app recalculate your macros for the rest of the week. So basically, you're not digging yourself into this hole where you have to
you kind of roll over your macros. Okay.
Yes, which is super dope. And then you can share your food with your friends and stuff, which is really cool. So yeah, they've definitely made some huge improvements. I feel like I'm doing an ad for them right now.
No. Well, I'm curious. I've fitness for me has been like an on and off thing, battle my whole life. And I know you understand that. Is the counting macros the best thing that you've done for yourself? Because I've done it. For me, it's been the one that worked is just like low sugar, low carbs, you know what I mean?
Right.
Low sodium, and especially for diabetic, all that stuff. And just running and exercising as long as doing cardio for 45 minutes, as well as lifting for about 45 to an hour.
Right.
I did keto last summer. I liked it. It's weird. It's easier to maintain, I feel like, as an individual, unless your partner's into it. Because if your partner, Carrie was not into it. She was not into it at all. She was into it for like the first 3-4 weeks, and she was like, "This is great," and we felt great. And then all of a sudden, she was just like, "I want a goddamn cheeseburger with a bun and a middle bun. Like I don't want the lettuce wrap anymore. I want bread. I miss bread." And and then that's the whole thing is, if you go too fast, you'll blow up back to what you are. And I didn't do that, but I didn't feel the way I was, and I kind of miss it. But I also I think the best way is just to do the simple dieting, unless you can find a way keto can work for you.
Right. Yeah. It's for me, I feel like that's the best thing that I have for me, because I can still
eat macros,
kind of like junk the macros.
Yeah.
The macros, and the tracking just feels that, because I can still eat, McDonald's if I want, but I'll also eat vegetables. Then I'll also have protein shakes, and I'll also have fruit. So like it allows me to eat, as long as I can track it and it fits and I can still hit my fiber, I can eat it. So I like that a lot. I like having the freedom to like eat garbage, because I get
it. No, I get that. It's, for me, eating garbage, I like to do it, but for me, it's a control thing. Like some people can do the thing where, you're counting macros and, you have enough room for McDonald's or something like that. For me, McDonald's is an addictive,
right. It's a
triggering. Yeah. Whatever in my brain. So if I'm good for like 6 weeks and I had McDonald's or something along those lines, for 3 days, I'm binging. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
Like I'll get bad, and I'll derail myself. And it's, that's, and some people, that's the thing. It's like, I think everyone needs to find a diet that works for them. And I think it's, it's terrible to hear when people's like, nothing works for me. Nothing works for me. It's like something does, you just haven't found it yet.
Exactly. You got to pick your lifestyle,
Yeah.
And like you said, everyone's different. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different triggers. And like, once you find that thing, stick to that thing. And maybe like for some people it's intuitive. I'm just going to fill up on like fruits, vegetables, salads. And like that way I'm basically not eating as much because it's volume heavy.
Yep.
And for some people like me, who a salad isn't going to cut it because I need my trash, a little bit of trash every day, I'm going to track it. And that way I'm like not going to, spiral into just like eating a bunch of crap, but I'll still fill up on the better things and then eat my crap on the side. But like, I agree with you. You got to find what works. That's like it's like fitness. You got to find what works for you.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's what's great about like what you're going to be creating your fitness channels. Like you're going to create that awareness, because you and I, we talked about this when we were at BuzzFeed and we were doing fitness type videos, is that, both of us in our own individual ways from comments get crushed about stupid fucking nuances that it just, I mean, that's the internet in general. That's just YouTube. Just like people love to go to comments to troll. But it was always funny to me how people can just pick something apart. It's like, I don't need to have like a certain amount of calories a day. I do this, that, and the other. It's like, great, but that works for you.
Exactly.
Whatever your metabolism and your DNA is, you're blessed with eating 2 slices of pizza, having a salad and a donut at night, and having, washboard abs. Some people can't do that. Some people have physical limitations, especially as they get older, working out a certain way. It's And it's it's so frustrating to read sometimes, but I mean, we all gonna deal with that at some point. I feel like, being in a relationship, we were talking about this again right before. I wanted to say, being in a relationship with being another creative is a blessing and a curse, because I feel like you guys, you and Ten can, help feed each other the same way me and Carrie, give each other creative ideas and perspective, and really build something brainstorming, but this quarantine, being a creative at home is expensive. because you're sharing all your fucking technology with people.
Yeah.
How many times? So, I mean, Ten's a musician. He's an artist.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing video and stuff like that. I mean, how many times have you had to share equipment? Like, how frustrating.
We use the same ring light. So if someone wants to make a TikTok and someone else wants to make a TikTok and you both are trying to release that TikTok at the same time, it's like, oh, well, get in line, buddy, because like I claimed it first. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it's what it is. And like, once again, we have the one room or the one loft that we do it in. So it's like, all right, if the other person's downstairs, like if you have a meeting or something, get in the bedroom because I need quiet because we don't have that separate space. So like, that's the thing. And like, granted, we never like fight over it because it's like understood that it's a shitty situation that we live in, but it's like, it's a shitty situation to live in. Like, it's not conducive to our creativity. And then if I were to take this laptop and show you the rest of this space, it is trash. Like this background is very deceptive. The rest, and that really like gets in your head when you're trying to make content. Cause it's like, well, all I have is this plain white wall and everything else is trash. So like, that's always, and during the pandemic, you can't go outside.
No.
So like, I can't shoot something outside, you know?
No, yeah, I totally get that. I mean, it's Carrie's she's a voice. I mean, she's an actress, but she's a voiceover actress, and
very cool.
You know, it's very cool because I get to hear all these crazy characters that she plays in her closet, which is now her studio. She calls it my VO booth. I'm like, girl, it's a closet with your clothes and my clothes and shoes that you threw up some fucking soundproof padding. All right. And some pillows. And she goes, but it's my VO studio. I'm like, whatever you want. But I always rag on her because for the first 4 months of the pandemic, things were fine. She would borrow my personal laptop and I was employed at that point. And then I got let go from Universal because of COVID and everyone, was losing jobs. So now we had to share my computer because I was freelancing, for various companies and, doing my own editing. So now it was like, she was like, hey, are you going to use the computer? I'm like, first of all, it's my computer. All right. And now your VO booth is useless without my computer. So if you want to rent this from me, no, we never fought over it, but you realize like how just how hard it is sometimes it wasn't easy working from home. I feel like, and the creative aspect. I mean, there's, you led off with this when we were talking about the channel. The hardest thing about creating content is the actual time spending it when you're not doing your other jobs, like the life things until this becomes the job. And, I feel like this added an extra layer to it, sharing the equipment, sharing stuff, sharing this room, with your loved one, because it's, even when I had meetings, she was like, I'm about to go into a directing session. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm about to have a meeting. She goes, okay, well, I hope they don't mind that your girlfriend's be yelling like a crazy witch. And then, and like all these different characters that she's auditioning for. And I was just like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got to work, right? What characters, like, would I know any of the characters she's played?
I can't talk about them yet because they're still, they're in post. So that's all. But she does commercials. She does like voices.com and stuff like that all the time. And she's very cool. She's done stuff for, for apps and everything. I mean, I'm proud of her. This pandemic, she took advantage of this pandemic. I feel like, there's no shame of like doing what you had to do during the pandemic, which was take care of yourself mentally, whatever it was. Oh yeah. She was doing all that. She was, we all went through our struggles, but she really, really bust her ass to really, cause she's, she was doing voiceovers before, but now that, her other job, which was subsidizing, working in restaurants to subsidize her while she was acting, that was gone. So she just focused on doing all this and really built up a great portfolio and clientele. So, but again, it was just like, oh, she's great, but it was like all under my computer. So up until about a month ago, her sister finally bought her like her own computer, and now I have this computer, and she's like, thanks, and she just hands it to me. And we were sharing it. And I'm like, can you get like your 200 gigs of voiceovers off my hard drive? My computer's running super slow. Anyway, Carrie, I love you. When you watch this, I'm not bashing you.
Definitely not. what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, before I let you go, I wanted to have this conversation with you about Halloween.
Oh yeah, we have to.
And I mean, you love Halloween. Are you also, I mean, a cosplayer? Because I feel like you do do cosplay stuff, but I feel like Halloween is when you bring out the best.
That is when I bring out the best. If I had an unlimited budget, like if I was rich, I would.
When you are rich,
so
let's manifest this. When you are rich and you have an unlimited budget.
Part of what I do want to do is definitely cosplay, because I love Halloween is where I fell in love with it, right? Because like you dress up on Halloween, but if I could bring that year round and just like bust out a cool look whenever I feel like it, I would 100% do it. 100%.
Yeah. I now, are you in love with, because you have all amazing looks. I love all from spooky to just the whole. I mean, you know, even your, like your heritage looks. You know, the culture looks that you bring out are fantastic. But when you're doing the Halloween, are you into Halloween? Are you into scary stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love scary stuff.
Because I love Halloween. I'm into the whole, you know, all the decorations, everything. But movies, like horror movies. Indy and I talk about this all the time. I mean, scaredy cats. I'll tell you the quick story. When Ghostbusters 1 came out, I was like 4 or 5 years old. Now, again, Ghostbusters can be to 4 or 5, but not to the level that I was. The opening scene when they're in the library and the librarian turns into that crazy skeleton, my parents would say that like you screamed, you ran out of the aisle, up the aisle, and out the movie theater in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Like they're like, and we had to chase after you. And it's followed me since. Like I still have a hard time. Like when I watch Stranger Things, like I will, when I'm turning off the lights in the house, I will turn off all the lights so fast and then run into the fucking bedroom and slam the door behind me. Like I'm 6 years old still. I mean, it's gotten better now because we have Google lights, so I can just say, hey, Google, turn off this, and all the lights are this, so I'm good night now. But I'm bad. I'm bad.
That's fine. And that's fair. Like my dad cannot handle horror. He hates it when I turn on anything remotely scary. He's like, I don't understand the point of like why you would want to feel this way. I don't get it. But it's kind of like, I liken it to like a roller coaster, you know, that like fluttery butterfly feeling. It's like, yes, this is going to be great.
Well, what's your favorite genre of horror? Like like a slasher? Like what is it?
God, that's a good question. I love demon stuff, ghost stuff.
Okay.
I mean, slashers are fun too, though. Yeah. So like I loved the, what series was it? The Conjuring series.
Nope.
That's been fun.
Nope.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
American Horror. I know these names. Right. I know the names, but
it's like, yeah, I just honestly, I love them all, but I am really picky about like the movie. And like, I'm not by any means a movie snob, but not every horror movie is going to scare me. Like Midsommar, that didn't scare me.
Okay.
It's got to be like, if it's something I feel like I can kind of prevent, then I'm not necessarily going to be like scared by it, right? Like,
what do you mean prevent?
Like if it's a slasher movie and I feel like I could slash the slasher, I'm not scared of it. You know
if I feel like I can make the right decision and run away to the opposite place from where he is, then I'm good. I'm not going to be scared. Okay. But if it's like ghost, demon, haunted doll, like, I don't know what to do about that. What do you do? Like, is the salt circle really what's going to help you? Like what prayer? What if I don't know what religion this thing is? Like what? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. No. That scares me. But yeah, that's what I like though. That's why I like it so much. Cause like, that's what scares me. The first time I watched Paranormal Activity was, I think, once again in New York. 10, his sister and I watched it, and like I sat in the bed, like because we watched it before bed. I sat in the bed, the lights were on, and that's how I slept. And at some point, 10's mom like opened the door to get something, and I like jumped up and freaked out. And she was like, "You guys need to stop watching this stuff. You need to stop watching." Oh man, I can't do it. I have tons of like terrible stories of how pathetic I am when it comes to horror. I'll tell you a couple if you don't mind.
Please, I don't mind at all.
So I mean, you're talking to a guy that when I was in 5th grade. This is a quick one. 5th grade, we went to, because I was we moved from Brooklyn, New Jersey at this point, and so our music class was going to go see Phantom of the Opera. You would have thought I saw Freddy Krueger on stage after the show, with the fact that the whole night sleeping in my bed, I thought some masked dude was going to come crashing through my ceiling on a chandelier. Right, and going to murder my ass. Like, it's not even that type of story, and that's the only thing I can figure out, all right? And then sophomore year of high school, this girl, we're good friends now, Alexis.
Okay.
It was the summer that it was the summer after. I'm trying to think. It was the summer that Scream came out on on the home release.
A fun summer.
And I of course had never seen it. Never seen it. And so she was like, "Would you watch with me?" And I was like, "I don't watch scary movies." She's like, "Come on, don't you like me?" And then you're in high school. You're like, "Oh, fine, yeah, I'll watch it with you." Man, this girl, and that's why we're good friends. This girl, she's like, "I'll be right back." She goes, like, during one of the horror scenes, goes to the bathroom and puts on the mask and comes out behind the couch and scares the fucking shit out of me with a knife. I was just like, you're watching. I mean, she was like, "I've never heard a grown man scream." I mean, I wasn't grown. I was 16, but she's like, "I've never heard a man scream that high pitched before." And I have other stories, but yeah, I'm not, again, not a fan. You grew up on the West Coast, right?
I grew up in Northern California. That's where I was most of my life.
Okay.
My parents did not let me watch too much horror when I was a kid, because I had an overactive imagination and I'd have like severe nightmares. But like, I don't know, as I started disobeying them and watching them on my own, I ended up really liking them. And I was like, I would still be scared, but now it's like I've developed a tolerance. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like when you drink for the first time, I guess.
Yeah.
You build a tolerance eventually. I feel like that's what this is, or what happened for me. I just like ended up, and I read a lot of scary books because they wouldn't let me watch movies. I would end up checking out books from the library and reading those instead.
Smart.
So it's like imagination training instead.
Yeah. That makes sense. Now, the reason why I asked is because, I mean, you grew up in NorCal, so it's different weather, but I know you went to school on the East Coast, went to BU, and Ten's from Brooklyn, but which do you prefer, like, to celebrate Halloween? Because to me in LA, it doesn't feel like Christmas. It doesn't feel like Halloween because it's always warm. But when I go home, like nothing's a better holiday for me in New York City than Halloween, because I feel like the whole city gets involved. The parade, people going from bar to bar, and the same thing with in Boston. I feel like the Northeast, because it has that fall vibe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I completely agree with you. It's lovely. I would hate it here in LA completely if it wasn't for Toluca Lake, which is where they go all out decorating all the houses. So when we're here, that's where we go. Otherwise, the East Coast is obviously the best way to spend Halloween. There's too much going on there in terms of horror,
parties, everything.
Yeah, there's just a lot. It's great.
Yeah, it's a feel. Like, you just feel the crisp in the air, the changing of the leaves. It feels like a true spooky.
Yeah, the pumpkin patches.
Yeah,
they're so much better there.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. All right, now I'm convincing myself to move back home. But listen, I'm gonna let you go. Right. I really appreciate you joining me. I really enjoyed this conversation. I want to, bring you back on. Obviously, I'm excited to see the channel grow.
Thank you. And we'll do something on my channel. I'll figure out what it is. Maybe we do Avatar for real.
We do Avatar for real. I'm down to do any fitness channel. Listen, what pushes me with these fitness channels is someone else doing it with me and then holding myself accountable for that. Because otherwise, I'm just challenging myself. And I've been trying to do this 30-day push-up challenge I've been telling Indy I've been doing since December 25th. And I get to like 10 days in, and I'm like, fuck, I missed 3 days. Do I lie to the people that I keep on getting this bulky chest and then nothing happens? So like I gotta like just do like, because I always wanted to do those like squat challenges that we did at BuzzFeed that I never got casted for. So the 100 push-up challenge is a good one, and I just haven't been sticking to it, man. I just haven't.
Well, we can get to it now.
I love to.
We can start doing it.
But I'll let you go. Tell Ted I say what up. I hope to see you in person soon. Hopefully this summer.
Yes.
Everyone, go check Swasti Shulka's channel out. Can you plug your handles real quick? Just plug them all.
I am Swasti Shukla on everything.
There we go.
Simple.
There we go. Thanks, Swasti. I appreciate it. Have a great.
Thank you so much, Zach. I so appreciate you having me. It was so fun to catch up after so long.
Yes, I know. Too long.